Hey, Randy Brown back at you. This is part 4 of the 5-part series. I want to share with you something that happened the other day. I'm in traffic. I come up to a stop sign. I'm third in line. And the person whose green arrow to the left, illuminated, was not paying attention. Maybe a second, 2 seconds, going on 3 seconds elapsed. And the person in front of me, the second car, laid on the horn, and the guy's body language was terrible. And it's like he just absolutely, something terrible, something was going to blow up in his car if he didn't move. Crazy. And it got me to thinking about how when things happen to us, they affect us. Now, certainly, if big things happen in our life, like the death of a child, which I've experienced twice, we're talking about that's a whole nother stratosphere. And there is a proper way to deal with that and respond to that. And there is a improper way to respond to that, which I've done. And it caused really a lot of devastation in my life and for my family. So I can tell you from some pretty dark places, I wish I would have responded properly. Now, we're not talking about an arrow, a green arrow going left, are we, when we're talking about the death of a child? But it's those two things and then everything in between make up our day. Small things. And it's the way that we frame it and the way that we talk to ourselves that's going to dictate the way we either react or respond to it. Let's talk about react and respond for 1 second. Typically, reactions are off the cuff. It's what your inner anger you is telling you to do and say. And it's usually not a very flattering response. It's not. That's why it's called a reaction. And we tend to come out of character when we do that. When we respond, there is time that we place in a gap between whatever it is that happened and how we're going to deal with that. And that gap is huge. It could be a breath. It could be a counting to 3 or counting to 5. Or it could just be, hey, dummy, that's no big deal. Let's laugh it off. Sense of humor is great in a situation like that. Let's laugh it off. Maybe that other person's having a really crappy day. So think about that sometimes when we get ready to jump somebody, maybe curse at them, maybe scream at them, at least if not to their face in our car. I mean, our blood pressure's going up, our face is getting red. We don't need that. Use a little comedy and talk yourself off the cliff. Build a bridge and get over it, as I say, and carry on with your day. But if you were to count these things up, some days there could be dozens and dozens and dozens of these situations where you either have to react or respond. Those can add up, and that's why I'm talking about this as a 4th part of this series. For men who seem to carry way too much, well, this can be a burden that you have on your shoulders or you put in your backpack and carry around. If you don't adequately handle situations that come up during the day. I love the event plus response equals the outcome formula. I really like that. Think about that. The event, what happened, and your response or maybe your reaction equals your outcome formula. Are you going to laugh it off, or are you going to be angry about that and carry that on into your day, maybe into your office or maybe into a relationship? maybe into making a big decision, and now you're way off balance because you let something get away from you that shouldn't have. And I want you to think about how many times this can happen during a day or the course of a week or a month. How do you handle events that happen? It could be stub your toe. It could be in line for traffic. It could be losing a loved one. And it could be 1,000 other things. We are really hard on our bodies and our mind. We need to give our mind a break. We need to give our bodies some respite and some rest and say, hey, I'm sorry, I'm taking it really hard on you, man. Don't do that to yourself. Okay? So in this is only going to last a few minutes. I want you to listen to this, and I want you to really think carefully about the events, how you respond, and what the outcome is. You dictate and command all of the actions that go in to the ultimate outcome. Remember that. It's on you. So let's see if we can't get better at that in the next day or two. Think about it. And we'll see you real soon for part 5.